FC24 title update 18 realism sliders and settings. We're towards the end of the game now, and this is one of the last title updates, if not the last title update. And in today's video, I'll be giving you guys the best sliders and settings to use it to make the game as realistic as possible. We've been covering this throughout the game, releasing all the way back in September 2023, and here we are in July, still pumping out these updates. And from your guys' feedback, it seems like this series has been worth doing. So if you are new here, please make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe as well. I'd greatly appreciate that. On the road to FC25 and on the road to 5k subscribers, do get involved. The game is towards the end of its cycle and the updates aren't really as big anymore. Case in point, title update 18 only really adjusted a few errors, a few bugs in the game. Nothing really note in terms of the pitch notes for the gameplay or career mode, which is what we mainly focus on here. So setting up sliders for this kind of update is a bit tricky, but honestly the last 5 updates or so haven't really changed that much in terms of detailed gameplay changes or detailed career mode changes, but the game always feels a bit different in some regard after an update for whatever reason. So today's video will be giving you guys the settings to use just for this update. I can't help but wonder who exactly is still playing this game at this stage of its cycle, because we're towards the end of July now. August is coming up and all the news are coming out of FC25. The trailers are out, the gameplay breakdowns are starting to come out, all these stuff. Really the focus is there, but in the meantime we still have to play this game. So let's get into the sliders to make sure we can still enjoy it up until that next title comes out. I'm gonna do things a little different today by showing you guys the game settings first. Now the reason for this is most of you guys completely skip them out if I show them later on in the video, and those who do see them think they're not really that important or not really that relevant. They are very important in making sure your game plays out like what you see on screen. My camera settings will also be displayed here as well. I am still currently changing between the EA Sports game cam and the broadcast cam. It really depends up to you which one you want to use. I will say though that if you're using broadcast like I will be in this video, the gameplay looks a bit faster because you are closer to the pitch. Right? If you want to slow it down a bit, you can use the EA Sports game cam, which I used in my previous slider video. So if you want the exact camera settings for that one, you can just check out the previous slider video that I did. But those are the settings. Now let's get into the actual sliders. We're going to start things off with sprint speed. The user sprint speed is on 3 and so is the CPU's, but when it comes to acceleration, the user's acceleration is on 51 and the CPU is on 50. Now I started playing around with the acceleration slider like 3 or 4 updates ago, and I found that 51 works best to prevent the AI just sprinting past your defenders. This is something I experienced especially early on in the game, like all the way back to last year, where if you're slightly out of position or you are just, you know, jockeying and they find the slightest gap, they're just gonna kick the ball forward and sprint past your defenders. So you can have it on 50. I promise you're gonna experience this a couple of times, so I suggest you have it on 51. Then we move over to shot arrow, which is on 65 for both the user and the CPU. We have pass arrow, which is on 74, and we have shot speed on 46. Pass speed is on 32. Pass speed is another one that is kind of determined by the camera angle you use. If you use broadcast and you're closer to the pitch, having a higher pass speed is gonna look a bit ridiculous, right? So I'm playing on broadcast now and I have the pass speed on 32. But if I'm playing on EA Sports game cam, which is a bit more zoomed out, the passes are gonna look a bit more clunky and too slow. It still works, I still use the same one, but some of you guys might find it a bit too slow there. So in a weird way, the camera angle you use also determines how your experience is going to be. We move over to injury frequency, which is on 85, and we have injury severity on 35. Goalkeeping ability is on 66, marking is on 69. Run frequency is different for the two. The user's run frequency is on 10. Now I've used 10 throughout the whole of FC24. Some people do comment and say, how do I get my players to make more runs? Increase that. By how much, it really is up to you. Do you want them to always make runs, then bump it all the way up? You know, if you want it to be a bit more realistic, if you want it to be a bit more challenging, maybe use a lower number. It's down to your experience, but I have the CPU's run frequency up to 29, so higher than the users, because I experienced that even if they have a lot of the ball, which you'll see in the video today, they don't make as many runs. So I increased it a bit for them to make a few more runs so that they can have more chances and threaten the goal a bit more. So if you're having games where the CPU are not taking as many shots or they're not having as many goals, run frequency is a very key slider to increase. Then we have line height on 60, line length on 33, line width on 47, and fullback positioning on 30. And then finally we have first touch control error on 86 for both the user and the CPU. Now the gameplay you see in this video is on legendary difficulty. In the previous video I said legendary is unplayable. They're doing this thing with every title update where legendary and ultimate become playable and then they don't. It's like it just keeps interchanging. Right now legendary is actually pretty cool. It is challenging as you see here, but it's still playable. Like none of the movements are too unrealistic, none of the passing is too ridiculous. You know, it's not a case of they don't make any mistakes ever. They do make mistakes, just at a lower rate. You do find it difficult to get the ball off of the AI though on the higher difficulties. I still use world class as well, and I've tried out ultimate a couple of times and it's very difficult, but it works. You know, I have no problem with things being difficult but working instead of them just being broken and unplayable. But they are very much playable. But let me know your thoughts in the comments as always. Are you guys still playing the game? Are you guys still playing career mode? How are you making it more interesting for yourselves? And in the next few days I will be making videos to react to all the new features and just break them down, the features that are coming up in FC25, that is, in terms of gameplay, in terms of career mode, and in terms of all the other new stuff that I will find relevant. Not really interested in Ultimate Team stuff, not really what I do, never played it, I don't really think I ever will, to be honest, but in terms of the gameplay, in terms of the career mode, I'll be breaking it down coming up in the next few days. And we have the closed beta to go live very, very soon. So, you know, firstly, hoping I get a code. I have for the past few renditions of FC and FIFA, and if I do, I'll also be making videos on that to give you guys my honest thoughts and reactions hands-on on the game. But apart from that, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please do drop a like on it and subscribe as well if you have. I've been with you, Crusher. I'll see you guys next time.